Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen, and my co-host,
Christina
and Marjorie.
And we are Check That Post. And thank you once again for tuning in. And if you stay to the end, we are having a challenge question. And if you the first person get the answer right, and text in at 866-311-2251, you can receive a t-shirt for Valentine's, just in time for Valentine's.
Right.
So you have to stay to the end and listen very intently and text that, answer that question and text in so we can get it out tomorrow so you get it in time for Valentine's.
Right.
And it's concerning Black history because February is Black History Month. Yay! So tonight's episode is about love. I told y'all, if you've been following us at Check That Post, you'll know that February is Love Month, and all this month we're gonna be talking about love. Do you still believe in love? Because we do.
Absolutely.
And I love that song. Still believe in love. But anyway, I can't sing, so I ain't even gonna try. So how was your day? My day was long and exhausted, and I'm glad it's over with.
Right.
So how about you?
Mine started off kind of rocky emotionally, but I got it together.
Cool.
And now it's better.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you?
My day was great. It was pretty mellow throughout the day, so I can say it was a good day.
Cool. That's what's up. All right. So let's get into it. First of all, if you've lived long enough to be an adult and you have adult feelings and urges and you want to find somebody that you can be in love with, for the most part, most people do. And especially if you're a woman. Men are a little bit slower to, because we are more emotional than they are. So they're a little bit slower to, settle down and find that one person that they want to be in love with.
Right.
A lot of people don't believe in love, but we here at Check That Post definitely believe in love.
Definitely.
At least I do. Yeah, I speak for myself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know we do.
So we're going to give you a little bit of tips on how to fall in love. Or if you don't know how to fall in love, give you some insight on falling in love. Because some people don't. Some people, love is more than just saying the words, I love you.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
loving somebody and being in love with somebody is two
totally
different things. So tonight we're discussing falling in love or being in love. But I love y'all. I love everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm not in love with everybody.
Right.
So there's a difference.
Absolutely not.
I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my brothers and sisters, my kids.
Right.
I'm in love with my husband.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So there is a difference, and we're going to explain the differences.
Yes.
So who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. So the difference for me between, just loving someone and being in love with someone is when you get to the point where you will give your life, you will give anything to see that person well, or make sure their well-being is taken care of, by any means necessary. Like when you, without a shadow of a doubt, if somebody got a gun to their head and you about to step in front of it, like, no, don't touch her. Take me if you got to. That's
your life.
That's how I know, I'm in love with somebody. So, you know, I love everybody, like you said. You know, we love everybody. Like, you know, I don't wish no ill to nobody. You know, even the people that call themselves my enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still wish them well. I hope they get well, so you know, the world can be a better place, because I don't wish no ill will on nobody. Like, I don't. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a loving person. You know, so you gotta know the difference. I feel like it's very important for you to be able to determine the difference, and not just love and being in love, but lust as well. We're gonna go ahead and throw that one in there, because that one, you know, is strong, because a lot of people can mistake, you know, lust for love,
right?
Lust for being in love,
and they also, excuse me for breaking in, but they also can mistake just having a feeling for somebody for being in love, especially like if it's the first time, like an attraction for somebody. They can immediately think that they're in love.
Right.
And that may not necessarily be the truth, because once you get into that person, then you realize, I don't feel the same way, and it's okay, long as you find out, and long as you realize before you do something that, you know, where you are in a situation where you're stuck or feeling stuck. You can always get out of it.
Yeah, not necessarily stuck, but it's going to take you a while.
Right.
To
you
get
can't
out
just
of
walk away from it.
Right.
Then you realize, hey, I don't feel that way.
Right.
You know, I don't feel the same. Or somebody might be in love with you and you don't feel that way about them. You're not that attracted to them or whatever. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no. To piggyback off of, you know, what you're saying, I totally agree. You know, you definitely have to. You definitely got to be able to discern, you know, which is which. Like, and like you said, you know, somebody could be in love with you, and you know, you could not be in love with them. But don't fake it. You know, that's what I would say. Like,
be honest.
Right, exactly, because it can grow, you know, on you, you know, but that person got to be willing to be patient with you, you know, and to hang in there, but you need to let them know, you know, up front what it is. Don't have them just lingering on and waiting, you know, till you decide whatever you want to do. But if you have that open communication, you know, just let that person know how you feel.
Right.
You're not there yet, but you know that it could potentially happen. So you know, it's up to them then whether they want to hang on and wait or not. So
What about you?
I'm glad that you brought that up about the feelings, like you feel fuzzy, like butterflies, stuff. I used to think that was love, like being in love, like the feeling that I got. And it was like, I had to learn by doing some research, but being in love really meant, and it's everything that you said it was, like, it's putting that other person before yourself, basically. Being very selfless, wanting the best for them, even when it means you might not get, you know, the greater end of the deal. Like, that's a true form of pure love.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. So, it's not all about the honeymoon phase, you know. It's about how you gonna stick through, you know, when it ain't looking so great, or stuff ain't going your way. That's when it really shows.
Yeah, because times ain't always gonna be up.
Right.
So you got to know how to, you know, navigate through those muddy waters so you can come back out on top. And you got to be willing to hang in there and fight for your love. By the way, that's what the T-shirt say. Fight for your love. But all those things and more, because it's easy to say, I love you. It's easy to call somebody 24/7, I love you, or text somebody, I love you. But the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the doing. Like when you show somebody you love them, then, you know, they can feel that. You can feel love. You can feel when somebody loves you. And you also can feel when they don't. Like just saying that I love you, that don't mean nothing to you. You want me to show it. You want me to prove it to you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big difference in, like I say, saying and seeing and believing, so to speak. So, yeah.
I feel like reciprocation, that plays a big factor as well. If you have somebody that is in love with you, you know, I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10. I'm gonna say about 6.5 times out of 10. You know, just from you receiving that love and you like knowing, you know, without a shadow of a doubt that, you know, this person really love you and really in love with you, you know, it kind of make you reevaluate like all the other past situations that you might have had. You know, you might be like, what in the world? Like, what have I been putting up with? What have I been dealing with? Okay, maybe this is, you know, something that I need to hang on to. You know, it might not be what you expected, you know, but in the end, it might be better for you. You know, I've been in situations like that myself where I had to kind of reevaluate and be like, okay, hold up now, like what's what now? Hold up.
Yeah, and if you're looking for examples of whether or not, is this love? Let me tell you something. Love ain't gonna hurt you. Love is not gonna talk down to you or degrade you or put you in situations where you're in a harmful situation.
Absolutely.
Love is gonna protect you. And if you need an example, open your Bible. Because God is love. He gave you breath in your body. He sacrificed himself for you. So that's love.
Absolutely.
So if you need an example, that's the best example that I can give.
Absolutely.
Look at his track record. That's how you know somebody love you.
Right. Out of all the stuff we done did, said, you know, and he still have mercy on us and
He still love us.
Like,
Exactly. And he ain't asking for nothing in return except for that you know him as he really is and as he actually exists.
Yeah.
To know the true creator. So that's love. To somebody that's willing to sacrifice any and everything for you. Not being selfish and putting themselves first, but putting your thoughts and your feelings before their own. That's love. So if you need an example, check it out. Anybody else got anything on the subject of love? Because I can go on and on and on and on. And I'm not saying that your first experience with love is going to be so-called the one. You might feel like it's the one. Time will tell. You will find out.
Absolutely.
You will be able to see. And I'm not saying put people to the test to say, I'm going to test you to see if you really love me. Or, you know what I mean? Like, some people don't do that. They like, say, for instance, you dating somebody and they might have their girlfriend approach that person, if they don't know him, to see if he going to fall for the okie doke. And if he fall for it, then say, oh, you didn't love me anyway. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about real, genuine love. Something that makes you want to fight for it. And you might say, well, if it's real love, I shouldn't have to fight for it. It don't work like that. If it's real love, you give everything you got to hold on to it, to keep that love.
Okay, y'all. So I got a question. Okay, so I know you can't really like put a timeline, you know, on how long, you know, you should deal with somebody before you know, feel like, you know, you should be in love with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might date somebody, let's say 3 years, you know, and you still not in love with this person. Like, do you still like hang on and wait, or do you just be like, okay, this time to go ahead and write
3
something
years?
out and let this go? And I'm just saying, I'm just throwing the time out there.
Me personally, I went 3 years. We need to be talking about marriage.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I agree. You know what I'm saying? I feel like by that time, we should know whether or not we ready to spend the rest of our lives.
I done planned our life out 10 times by then. Like, no, that's too long.
I agree totally. Like, I know you can't put no timeline on it, but I feel like at a certain point, you know, you should know whether or not, okay, like this him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be him.
I
like,
mean,
I feel
like it's the person. Like me, I do put timelines because that's like a requirement for me. Like, I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if that's your requirement, that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with having a timeline on it. Like, okay, so what are we? Where are we going?
Right.
You know, you gotta give me some direction. Cause
Right.
if not, I'm gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna be acting crazy. So if you don't want that to happen, you need to have your little plan together.
Well, as far as timeline, I wouldn't go 3 years. I mean, of course you're gonna know how you feel about a person well before 3 years.
You would think.
Yeah, but it don't take that long to fall in love. You know,
No,
you
it
know
doesn't.
if the situation is going somewhere. I'm like Marjorie. I have to see progress.
Right.
I can't stay stagnant
Right.
and we just doing the same thing, and we're not growing.
Right.
We're not going nowhere. We're just hanging out or just
Mhm.
being together just for the sake of being. No, we're not doing that.
Or what if you take
That's playing
steps,
house.
but just taking
Slow steps.
baby.
I mean, if that's
Well, I
cool
mean,
for
that'd be right.
both of the people,
But like for
that's
a long
fine.
period of time.
Like you talking about like being in a situation with somebody for 10 years and they still ain't put a ring on or something like that. You wasting your time, in my
Darn
opinion.
so wouldn't.
You wasting your
Put
time.
it that far out there
Yeah.
at all.
Like
I would
5.
say I'm stick with the 3.
Agreed. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the people. If that's
Yeah.
something that, if both of y'all want to go slow, that's fine.
Right.
There's
There's
nothing
nothing
wrong with
wrong with that.
Yeah,
But if
absolutely.
somebody want to go a little
But
faster,
that's
it's nothing wrong with
typically
that
not the
either.
case. Like it's usually the woman like, come on, let's go ahead and get this over with.
So
like,
you asking like, how long should they?
no, I'm just saying,
Maybe.
y'all already answered it, really.
Oh.
I was just asking, you know, do you think that you should put a timeline on it type thing? And both of y'all basically said, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Well,
she got to
if-
consider how she feel too.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, it got to be a give and take.
Right, exactly.
Well, if the woman, it depends on what she want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If she's in it for the long haul, she want marriage, she want family with this person, then they have to have that conversation and then they can decide amongst themselves whether or not that's what they want. But they both need to want it.
Right.
One person can't be wanting the other person, they taking their time just dragging on just because.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, that's
It's unfair.
wasting time.
It's unfair.
You got to have a good reason why you got me
Yeah.
waiting, because if not,
Yeah.
you're not fit wasting my time. Like,
But I mean, if she's willing to hang in there, you know, and she kind of made that choice.
I mean, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
to
If
each
she's
his
comfortable,
own.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's no judgment
right.
either way.
No.
Like, if
I mean,
y'all
it's
at
what you want.
peace,
Yeah.
that's cool by y'all for y'all, but not for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I had a time limit, and my time limit was for me. Like it's my life, and I
Right.
control or decide what I want for my life.
Right.
Now, if they didn't agree with it, then they had the choice. They can
Right.
choose to move on,
Yeah.
or they can choose to let's do this thing. Let's quit playing and let's be real about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out for me because
Right.
that's just what I chose for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And don't feel bad about it.
oh no, matter of fact, I feel very good about it. I
know
made
you
the right
made
decision.
the right decision.
Exactly,
Right. Yeah.
because it was a choice for my life,
Mm-hmm.
and he made the choice for his life.
Right.
That he chose to be with me. So, and here we are,
Yeah.
and couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
So that's what worked for me, and it don't work like that for everybody.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
got to know what it is that you want.
Right.
Like you got to look at your life, where you are at that time, and if you really love this person, you have to love them enough to walk away.
Right.
You got to love yourself enough to walk away.
Right.
Because if they're not willing to step up and be in that relationship with, maybe that's not what they want.
Right.
Let them go. Let them go
Yeah.
do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Love yourself enough to say, okay, I'm not gonna put all these years into this person and I'm not getting what I need out of it in return. You got to get what you need. So in that case, be selfish. Like, take care of you. I always go back to that. Take care of you. And there's nothing wrong with taking your time if y'all both are okay with that. But if the woman is asking for commitment, which we had a commitment, but I just require more. So if a woman is okay with going 10, 12, 20 years, or even if the man is okay with that and she's okay with it, as long as they both okay with it, then there's nothing wrong with it. But if one person is requiring more and he's not willing to give more, or he's requiring more and she's not willing to give more, then at that point, y'all got to make a decision. Like, why waste your time? Like, there could be somebody else waiting to have what you got that you don't want, basically, because that's basically what you're saying. You don't want it.
Absolutely.
So at that point, you know, just look at the situation. If it ain't working for you, move on. There you go.
And to piggyback off of that a little bit, that's why I feel like it's very important to set the stage from the beginning. Like, go ahead and let that person know, you know, what it is that you want, you know, what your goals are, or where you see yourself, or you guys together, you know, in a certain amount of time or whatever. Once you let them know from the beginning, I promise you it would be so much easier when if you do get to the point where you have to cut that person off. It's gonna be so much easier because you're gonna be like, I told you from the beginning.
You knew.
You didn't listen. You didn't care. You ignored, you know, what I wanted, what my feelings and desires were. So, you know, it's obvious that we want something different. So, peace. Like, it'll be so much easier to do that when you set the tone from the very beginning.
Yes, indeed. Communication is everything.
Absolutely.
I always keep that open line of communication. And y'all can always agree to disagree. But you got to make that choice. I wouldn't sit there in that situation and just be miserable and unhappy, because you know in your mind it ain't going nowhere. And, you know, why? You got one life to live.
Absolutely.
Give it your best.
Absolutely. One life.
Still believe in love. So if you believe in love, fight for your love.
I was about to say y'all might want to text that conversation in case they try to catch amnesia, like you ain't saying nothing. Receipt.
Definitely told you right there, right there, and right
That's
there.
what it takes.
A couple times. I remind you on this day. Look, I love my little journals.
Y'all remember when? That works. That's all right. Well, we got to get to our Dear Jen letters because we got a couple of them on this topic. Dear Jen, I am a 40-year-old male who is quite frankly tired of looking for love. I mean, I know it's supposed to come to me, but I have yet to capture true love. Yes, I've loved a few women in my lifetime, but I want the experience of really being in love. I've recently gotten on social media, and I'm considering dating apps. What do you think about this? Are dating apps and social media too risky? And should I stick to the original way of dating, or should I explore new options since the old ones aren't working out in my favor too well? Signed, a tired single good man.
Well, I'm not against anybody trying to look online, especially if you don't go out and mingle with people. I would say have some boundaries before you do it, because it's like an open door to find just lust everywhere. And then like y'all said earlier, let them know what your intentions are up front, so you can find somebody that's on your level,
on the same page. Because when you just walking up to a complete stranger, you know, like, you don't know what their intentions are, you don't know what they want, you know. If you meeting somebody online, you know, y'all kind of got the same purpose,
Yeah.
the same intention, instead of you just kind of like chasing after somebody that you're lusting after. You know, it's kind of a mutual thing. Y'all both looking for the same thing, so maybe that isn't a bad idea. You know, I've never done dating apps or anything like that, but
I
now
have,
I'm sitting here thinking about it. You know?
but that's why I was like, it's an open door to lust. So
Yeah.
just have your boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, because somebody's intentions could be lustful, you know, versus the purposes of it. So,
well, I can't speak on that because I've never done that. But speaking on letting people know your intentions up front, sometimes you can do that, but feelings change, intentions
That's true.
change.
That's true.
So also you have to be prepared for that. Like if you tell somebody, well, I just want to be friends, and then later on down the road, y'all been friends for a couple of years, and you ready to move it up, but that person ain't. You still gotta have that conversation.
That's true.
Because if they still not ready or don't want nothing else, then you have to make a decision at that point. So feelings do change. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But good luck to you.
Yeah.
You will find love. Just keep looking, keep waiting on it. It'll come.
Right, and you'll know. You'll know when it's there.
Yeah, you definitely know when it's right. Like, you know, don't just see somebody and like them for the way they look. You know, get to know them, get to know what's in their heart and their mind. Like, I know my husband always say, you know, he get in the mind first and make love to the mind before, you know, he even attempt to go there. And it worked. He got me hook, line, and sinker. It took a while, but he got. So we're gonna go on to the next, Dear Jen. Dear Jen, is it okay for a girl to ask a boy to be their Valentine? I know a girl who decided to ask a boy because the boy is shy. My preference is for the boy to ask the girl, but should I give my opinion to the girl or just let her do what she feels is best? Also, if the boy is ideally supposed to ask, what are some tips the girl can use to give hints to the boy that she's interested without having to necessarily ask?
I want y'all to go first.
Number one, this sound like a little kid.
What you doing right here, Jen?
Talk about some boy and girl.
Yeah.
But little girl or little boy. No, I'm joking. But hold on. I got a good one for you. Know how you used to do in school? Do you like me? Yes or no? Put the box. Give it check. Yes or no?
That's something the girl can do.
The girl or the boy can do that. I feel like
really
it's
don't
okay
matter.
for a girl to do it. You know, it's not average or
I mean,
anything
it's
like that.
2024.
But you know, go for what you want. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get what you want if you don't go after it?
Close mouth.
You know?
Y'all, I ain't gonna
Exactly.
lie, like, I feel like if you're doing that, are you gonna be the type to propose to the guy?
It's
you know,
2020.
I mean, it's possible.
It's 2024.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not a whole lot that's gonna do that. You know, that's abnormal. You know. But
I don't know now.
But ain't nothing wrong with it.
No.
It's just not average. It's just not something that you see every day.
I wouldn't do it, but
I
this day and
absolutely would not.
I'm very traditional, very old-minded, old school minded.
Right. Yeah.
But this day and time, nothing surprises me.
No.
I'm
So,
not
ain't
gonna say
nothing wrong.
seen
That's
it
what you
done.
like.
I
Ain't
just
nothing
don't
wrong
like
with it.
it.
It's
Like,
to each its own.
Yeah.
You know,
If that's what you like,
exactly,
go for what you know.
That's what your heart desires. Don't get down on your knee, girl. But,
thank you. Please do not.
but you can ask that man to marry you, but don't get on your knee.
No.
Well, I believe once you make your intentions clear and he feel the same way you do, he probably waiting on you to even give a hint that you ready for that.
True. But
So.
hint before you ask him.
Yeah, I'd rather hint than you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not really the traditional type person, but that I just don't want that to change. Like, let the guy do it.
Who's your daddy?
But to answer your question, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. I mean, you just asking. It ain't like you asking him to marry you. You know, you just asking, do he like you, or do
For
he
Valentine's.
do he want to be your Valentine, or whatever. Like, it's not that deep.
Take,
you know?
get some flowers, get some
Do
chocolate.
it. If you say boy and girl, it's definitely not that deep. Do it, girl.
Do what your heart's desire.
Yeah.
Okay, one last, dear Jen. Dear Jen, I have never been in love before. What does it feel like? I have loved many times. I love my mother, my sister, my father, but I've never been in love with a man. I'm 35 years old. Is it too late for me to fall in love? Signed, Anonymous. Girl, no. It ain't never too late. I don't care if you're 105.
It's
Never too
never
late.
too late.
Well, my question for you is, do you know what being in love really means? Because I had a misunderstanding about it. I thought it was just all about this certain feeling you're supposed to have, certain stuff you see how people react on TV. I thought, well, that's what it means to be in love, when you act all airheaded and googly-eyed and stuff. But that's not the case.
Are people doing stuff for you?
Yeah, that's not the case.
Mistake that as well.
So you probably have been, but didn't know you were in love because you didn't understand what it meant to be in love.
That's true.
And what about the butterflies? Like, people say they get butterflies and stuff. I got butterflies in my stomach when I was pregnant. I don't remember that from falling in love.
You don't?
And you get like this warm, fuzzy feeling. Might get like...
That's like same difference.
But they talk about butterflies like fluttering in their stomach, like
that's the same.
Not that literally.
I mean,
it's
I
just
done
like
felt that. I done been like
you sweat a little bit.
yeah, like, but my stomach done been like, oh,
I got overheated, flush.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You had diarrhea.
Not the diarrhea. Oh my God. Oh wow. But it ain't too late.
No, it's never too late.
You may have to decide what it is that you're looking for. And if it haven't come to you, then there's nothing wrong with you going out and finding it. Go look for it. Somebody probably waiting, because that's somebody for everybody. So it's somebody probably sitting there looking at you and wondering if they should ask you out for a date and too shy to ask. Like, go for what you know, honey. It's love. You can't go wrong. All right, it's time for our Black History question. Don't forget. Yeah, we have 2 questions. So whoever the first to text with the answer to 866-311-2251, we get a t-shirt that says "Fight for Your Love" with these big old boxing gloves. So
just in time for Valentine's.
Just in time for Valentine's. And get in there quick because Valentine's is next Wednesday.
All right, so I'll say the first question. Who is the first black woman elected to Congress in 1969? And how long did she serve in the House of Representatives? So you can text that to 866-311-2251. Text the answer.
All right, and our second question is, who was the first female self-made millionaire in America? And I'll give you a little hint. She was born on December the 23rd in 1867 in Delta, Louisiana. She passed in May the 25th of 1919 in New York. Arlington, New York.
All right.
So if you know the answer to either of those questions, text in to 866-311-2251. The first person to answer either of those questions will win the free t-shirts, the Fight for Your Love t-shirts.
Yes, indeed. And the rest of this month, you'll be able to get a t-shirt with Black history on it. So, tune in to Check That Post podcast every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Text 866-311-2251 if you have a question. Write a Dear Jen letter to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com. You also can check us out on YouTube at Check That Post Pod.